back, guys. Today we're going to do a test because it's been recently brought to my attention that there's a theory going around that if you powder coat your YETI cup, it loses its effectiveness. So we're going to put that to the test today.
And we got some ice.
We've got some ice. And we're going to do an unpowder coated cup.
And Mommy's
We're going to do a light colored powder coat and a dark colored powder coat. Just to see if the dark color is radiating any heat and melt the ice any faster. So we're going to do that, and we'll check back in from time to time.
And it is hard.
And I'll keep you guys updated, and we'll show you how much it's melting. And we're going to put this to the test and see if it's real or see if people are just crazy. So that's my guess. I don't think it's going to make any difference. Like I said, the only thing that might be a factor is the dark colors if you're in the sun, because it's going to radiate more heat. That's the only thing I could think of, maybe. And that may not even be the case. So we're going to try it.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and open this one up. Put 5 pieces in there. One. You can just drop it. 2. 3.
4.
Alright, let's close it up. Next.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Alright. Last one.
Yep. 1, 2.
That's a half piece. Let's not use the whole piece. Don't put a half piece in there. Right, 2. There's 2.
2.
Don't use the half piece. Use the whole piece. Alright.
3.
Yep. 4. 5. Alright. So, we'll close this up. I'm going to try to set it in an area and maybe where there's some sunlight. Baby, they ain't going to melt that fast. I'm going to set this up in an area where there's some sunlight. My original plan was to do this inside and then do it outside, but it's currently 48 degrees outside, so I don't think that's really going to help us that much. So I'm going to try to set it up on a place inside with plenty of sunlight just to see if anything happens.
There's one right there.
Yeah. So I'll set it up somewhere and we'll check back maybe an hour or every 2 hours, maybe 3, depending on how fast this stuff melts. Obviously, I'm not going to keep doing clips if it's not melting, so it's kind of pointless. So I'll check back in and we will keep you updated until all the ice has melted.
We're doing some boxes.
We will determine the winner. Alright guys, checking back in. We're going to do we're about an hour in right now, so we'll come back and check it again. So this is the black powder coated, the blue powder coated, and the non-powder coated. As you can see, they're all pretty even right now. So we'll check back in a minute and see what they look like. Thanks guys. Alright guys, checking back in. We're at almost the 4-hour mark now. As you can see, there's very little change. They're all pretty much the same still. So we'll check back again in a few hours and see what we got. Alright guys, checking back in. We're at about 6.5 hours now. As you can see, powder coated, non-powder coated. They're all still pretty even. We'll check back in a little bit. Alright guys, we're going on 10 hours now. And we're going to check the ice again. As you can see, they're all still pretty much even.
I want to see.
Alright guys, checking in again. I said 10 hours a minute ago. Sorry, I was wrong. My clock is an hour fast still. It was at 9 hours. Now we are at almost 10.5 hours. So as you can see, we're still pretty even. amongst the powder coated and the non-powder coated. We'll check back shortly. Alright guys, so 12.5 hours later, there's just a tiny little piece of ice down there. Actually, let me take the lids off. Alright, so there we go. See if I can zoom it in. Tiny little piece of ice down there. This one melted, and this one, same. Tiny little piece of ice. So there you have it, guys. Powder coated versus non-powder coated. It was practically the exact same amount of time that it took for the ice to melt for both cups. So I definitely say this is busted. It may be different if it's out in the middle of the summer, in the middle of the sun, which I probably will do another test when it's warmer. It's been a little cold here recently, so being outside is not going to do any good. So as far as inside use, they're almost exactly the same. I will leave a link in the description where you can get the powder coated and engraved cups. She also sells just the regular cups if you don't want them powder coated or engraved. So go check them out. Tell her that you saw this video. And thanks everyone for watching. I'll be doing another test video with the YETI and the RTIC and Orca cups. So thanks everyone for watching. Check out my channel for other videos. Leave a comment, like, and hit that subscribe button.